exciting video. We're going back to Disney! Woo! So exciting! I've spoken about it a little bit on my Instagram and on my TikTok, but haven't mentioned it on YouTube, and so I thought I'd give you the full it's on backwards. So I thought I'd give you the full rundown now of everything that's going on. I say that like I know everything that's going to go on. I haven't planned everything yet. It's still very much in the planning stages, but we booked it and we're going, so that's the main thing. I'm going to share with you what we're going to be doing, when we're going to be going, how long we're going to be going for, and where we're going, because first things first, where are we going? We're going to Disney. Are we going to Disneyland Paris? No. Are we going to Disney World? No. We are going to California. Just also want to say that obviously Sean, my husband, would usually be here to do this announcement with me, because obviously he's coming with me and so are the kids, but he's at work, and I thought if I don't film this video today and I wait for him to come home, then we're never going to get the video filmed, because the kids are going to be back at home with me for the next 4 or 5 days. So I won't get a chance to film it, so I'm filming it now. So yes, everyone is going. Me, my husband, my 4-year-old Ellis, and at the time when we go, she'll be 15 months old baby girl Quinn. We'll talk about the flights in a minute. But yeah, so we're going to Disneyland, California. I am so excited. So basically, let's go back to the beginning. I have a wonderful group of friends who all live in California. I did a summer camp back in 2010 and 2011. I worked in a summer camp as a camp counselor in California, Santa Cruz, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I made some incredible friends. They all came to my wedding back in 2018. Oh, and then I went to one of their weddings as well in 2018 in October. Tied her wedding in with our honeymoon, because we were going to go to Disney World for our honeymoon, but then the pricing was adding up to being extortionate, and we couldn't figure out how that pricing was being so ridiculous. And then my friend said she was getting married in October, and we're like, you know what, let's go to Disneyland, California for the first time for our honeymoon, and we'll also go to my friend's wedding, which we did, and it was amazing. And then since then I've had a friend get married in Colorado, but I couldn't go because I was pregnant with Ellis at the time in 2019. And then I had a friend get married in California again. When was it? I think it was November last year, but obviously then Quinn was a newborn baby, and I wasn't, prepared to be carrying her across the world. One of the other girls in the group got engaged and said she was getting married this year. I said to Sean, we have to go. We have missed 3 weddings. They all came to my wedding or our wedding, and we have to go. What's the reason to not go now? Because our kids are old enough to be able to somewhat endure the long flight, and she's getting married in California. Let's make it another Disney trip, and it's so exciting. So we are going in October. We will be there for the Halloween season. We are going to go to LA, and we will be in a little, I think it's a city, I don't know how geography works in America and California. So she's getting married in a little place called Pasadena, which is right next to LA. So we'll be spending a week in Pasadena, and then we will then be going to Anaheim, and we'll be in Anaheim for an entire week. And so we're going to be doing Disneyland for 5 days, and I cannot wait to see Disneyland through Ellis and Quinn's eyes. We've done Disneyland Paris with them both. Obviously Quinn was quite small at the time. She was in the buggy most of the time, but Ellis was in his element. He loved it, and so I can't believe we get to take him to the original, to Walt Disney's Disneyland, and I can't explain how excited I am. I just want to say we are not going to do Oogie Boogie Bash. We did consider it, and I was ready when the online queue became available. I didn't know when it was available, and I had planned to join the queue to get Oogie Boogie tickets, but then we considered the price of them, and they are not cheap, these tickets. Oh my goodness, they're not cheap. And then although we think it will be an incredible experience, I don't think, the kids being so young and obviously being on the other side of the world, I just don't think it would be valuable for us, because like I say, they're too young to fully understand it, and they'll be tired. I know obviously Disney's a very long day, and I just don't want to have an Oogie Boogie Bash experience with meltdowns from tiredness, exhaustion, tired legs, sleeping through it. So I just was like, we'll do it another time. This is going to be our last ever trip back to Disneyland California, I'm sure. Not that we have anything else planned, but we will do Oogie Boogie Bash another day. It's fine, it's not going anywhere, so that's not an issue, but we're not doing it. It was a little bit disappointing because it does mean that on 2 of the days we are there, Disneyland California, the Disneyland California park will be closing earlier, but we will obviously go to the Disneyland park on that day instead. But yeah, that's the only downside, is that we will have to take full advantage of the days where we can be in the Disneyland California park in the afternoons and get to see any shows and fireworks that we're not able to see on the Oogie Boogie Bash days. Does that make sense? Anyway, in 2010, Sean and I did the LA Hollywood experience. We did the little ride around seeing all the celebrity houses, we did the Walk of Fame, we did the Chinese theatre show, we did all that in 2010, and with kids we just were like, this time, and we're not too fussed about doing that again. I don't think it'll be of interest to Ellis in the slightest. Obviously, why would it? He doesn't know what celebrities are, so we're not going to really be doing much LA, but we are going to make sure that we go past the Disneyland studios to see the dwarfs holding up the little offices they have. We didn't see that when we went to California last time. I don't know why we didn't. It's just one of those things, I think it just slipped our mind that was there, but we're definitely going to be parking somewhere along the road wherever we can park and getting out and seeing that, because it's something that's very important to us to see, because, you know, we want to see it. And then we also are just going to be hanging out in Pasadena and seeing what it has to offer. There are things in LA that are like kid friendly. This is where I haven't done my full research. So basically, I believe there are like kid space type activities, but like museums and just like kid focused activities around Pasadena. So we're going to be looking at doing those types of things. If you are from California, know Pasadena and LA at all very well, please leave me in the comments any tips and things that I must do with my 4-year-old and 1-year-old. One thing unfortunately, I don't think we can do, which is really disappointing, is I think the Griffith Park merry-go-round roundabout isn't open anymore, because that was the roundabout which sparked Walt Disney's Disneyland Dream, and I don't believe it's open anymore. I've looked online and it just says temporary or permanently closed, so unless that's incorrect, I don't think we'll be able to do the merry-go-round, which is a shame. We will go to Griffith Park and we'll see maybe if it has any sort of like memorabilia or anything up that commemorates Walt Disney, but I don't think we'll be able to do the merry-go-round, which is a big fat shame. If it is open, I have seen that, I think in the past it was only open on Saturdays, which again we won't be able to do because that Saturday is the day of my friend's wedding, and so that's the only Saturday we're going to be in Pasadena, so we're not going to be able to do it, even if it is open, which again is a shame, but obviously we're there for the wedding. Obviously we're going to hang out with my friends when they are in town. I can't wait to see them. It has been such a long time since I've seen them. They've not met obviously either the kids, because I had kids, they got married, we couldn't travel to see each other. But let's talk about Disney, okay? Let's talk about Disney. So for 5 days we are in Anaheim. We are staying in a hotel quite close to the park. I don't want to say where we're staying yet, obviously for security reasons, but we're staying quite close. But my priority when booking a hotel was not too far. When we went in 2018, Sean and I stayed at the Sheraton, and that was a 10 to 15 minute walk, which is absolutely fine. And the hotel was nice enough, nothing wrong with it. But then I just thought, with a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old in tow, if we're trying to be quick, get in the parks, you know, you want to be first in the queue. We want to be closer than 10 to 15 minutes. Ellis isn't going to be wanting to be like power walking. We do have a buggy for him to sit in as well, but we just thought closer is better. So we are staying a little bit closer to the parks than a 10 to 15 minute walk. We yeah, so it's closer. Hopefully it is, and the map isn't lying to me. But yeah, so looking forward to that. So for 5 days we are there. The Tuesday and the Thursday of the trip we are there are the Oogie Boogie Bash days, which means we'd have to be leaving the park at 3 o'clock, I believe, to make space for the people coming in for the Oogie Boogie Bash, but that's fine. For one thing that I'm struggling with is the booking the reservations for the park you want to be in per day. So in Disneyland California, I'm assuming to do with numbers and stuff, you have to book every park you're going to be in the morning. We have got park hopper tickets, so we can switch to whichever park you fancy after 11 o'clock, I believe. I think you pre-book where you want to be in the morning, and then from 11 o'clock you can switch. So we are doing Thursday 5 days, Disneyland day 1, California 2, Disneyland, California, Disneyland. But obviously because of the Tuesday and the Thursday, the 2 days I've scheduled for Disneyland California, Oogie Boogie Bash days, so we're going to have to park hop back to the Disneyland California park on the Monday, Wednesday or Friday to make sure we see the shows. So that's the plan. Also in Disneyland, you want to book a restaurant reservation or any other sort of reservations, you have to do it 60 days in advance. And so I was super on it for the Monday that we're there in the Disneyland park. We have booked the Minnie's character breakfast in the morning. I'm really looking forward to that. It's a buffet meal, and I've seen they do vegan Mickey waffles, or Minnie waffles, sorry, and I'm so excited for the vegan options in Disneyland. They seem to be so good with the vegan food. I was a bit worried about the waffles not being vegan, but yeah, they have like a whole allergen thing, and I think they're gluten free as well, so that just means that obviously everyone can enjoy them. So I cannot wait for that. So that's our only dinner reservation or meal reservation, because I figured when you've got kids, sticking to a reservation is just tricky, and they might not eat anything, and they're not cheap obviously. So the quick service in Disneyland look incredible anyway, so we're happy to stick with quick service. Obviously as well, because we are in California for a whole week before we get to Disney, we will go to food shops and buy things like bread and crisps and packed lunch type stuff. And this is where I'm so frustrated with myself. It's not the end of the world, it's fine, it's worked out well in the end. I completely lost track of time, and so I forgot that I was meant to check in, and I was meant to book the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique experience for Ellis, our son. And when I went to book it at 7 p.m. in the evening, the time I wanted, which was like 10 o'clock-ish, wasn't available. They only had like 8:30 slots. So I booked an 8:30 slot for the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique, but then the next day, when the 60 days it was available for the Thursday when we were there, I've actually booked the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique for that Thursday instead, at 10 o'clock, because I just think 8:30 is too early. By like 9 he's probably going to be smeared off his face because he's going to have had breakfast or something. So 10 o'clock I think would be more reasonable, which reminds me I need to change our park booking then, if that's the case. But I need to do that, I need to change it. So actually, in actual fact, it's Disneyland Park, California, Disneyland, because on that Thursday we need to be in the Disneyland park for the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique. So yeah, so my son is going to be doing the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique experience. I don't know what this entails. I have looked online. They have a night's package, which I think looks rubbish, if I say so myself. They also obviously have the Disney Princess package. I am going to see when we get there if there's a way that my son can have the Disney Princess package without the dress side of it. He's absolutely fine to wear dresses, but I don't think he will want to wear a dress around the parks because it's not comfortable, and he's not fussed. He likes wearing dresses for dress up, but he's not too keen on wearing them outside. That's him. I haven't said anything about him. He can wear what he likes as far as I'm concerned, but I know for a fact he will love the pampering. He wants his nails done all the time. He wants his glittery gems makeup. He's a big fan of all that stuff. I'm going to ask, I'm sure they can, I'm going to see if they can do the package of all the hair and makeup and all that jazz, but in a boy fashion that's not going to end up as a night, because I think a night is rubbish. I mean, it's nice to have an option for boys who want to be knights, but I just think, why can't boys be all fancy too? Why can't they be dressed up and look all lovely and sparkly? Why is it the girls that get to have like this glamorous hair and makeup done, but boys just get a bit of gel put in the hair and sent on their way? I don't know, but that's a story for another day. So yeah, that is all we have planned for Disneyland at the minute. I do keep on looking at Disneyland vlogs. If you have any recommendations for family vloggers that go to Disneyland, please let me know, because YouTube search is absolutely hopeless. I will search in UK Disney vloggers Disneyland California, and I just get things like come with me to Morocco, or I don't know, Disney World. It's like, yes, I know, that's great. I love the fact that those people have posted that content, but I want stuff that I've just searched for. It's nothing to do with me at all, the stuff I search for. I literally will search for things and be like, not one word I have searched is appearing in the titles that you're showing me. So if you have any recommendations for family vloggers that go to Disneyland, please, please, please let me know, because I just want to know what it's like for families. I know it'll be amazing, but I just would like to just see it, you know? Obviously I've been watching other like couples and stuff that are there, but I just want to see it with families and kids as well, so I can put myself in their shoes. The flight. Now the flight is the thing that I am the most anxious for. We are flying with Virgin, because British Airways and Virgin were similar in price, but you had to pay for your British Airways seats, which you didn't have to pay for Virgin seats. So I was like, well, that makes more sense to go with Virgin, because why am I going to pay for my seats? I think that's daylight robbery. So that's good. We've got our seats. On the way back we're not sat in the same place as we were on the way there because of the different aircraft. So on the way there, we're sat at the front. So there's a wall in front of us, so we have more leg room, which is obviously perfect for my 15-month-old who's going to want to be running around like a maniac. I'm slightly terrified. But they also, I believe they have like a cot that they pull down off the wall. I've never seen this in action, but they have a cot on the wall, which we should hopefully be able to put her in for her to nap. Fingers crossed, that's the dream. I don't know if it'll work. On the way home, on the other hand, I have spoken to Virgin and said, is there any way that we can reserve a cot? Because obviously we're not at that front section. And she said that there is a space that's being, apparently at the minute there is a space available which has the extra leg room and has the pull down bit, but they're holding it off for anyone with special assistance who may be getting on board. So we will see. May the odds be in our favour that no one with special assistance gets on our flight, so we can have that spot. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll do. It is a night's flight on the way home, which fingers crossed both kids will sleep through, but obviously having a 15-month-old asleep in your arms for 11 hours is going to be painful. So it'd be nice if there was a cot or somewhere we can put her, but there's nothing I can do. That I can't control that. But yeah, so the 11-hour flight, I am doing a lot of preparation in the fact I am buying like odds and ends and things. I've seen lots of tips online about how to entertain kids and what toys are great for entertaining kids on a flight. I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm just concerned because Quinn at the minute is really in her I can walk, so I'm going to time of life. So she is not, it's just going to be a long old flight of us walking up and down the aisles. There's not much we can do about that. She's independent, she wants to do that, so fingers crossed she naps, but that's the plan. But yes, the 11-hour flight is my worry. Once we're there, we're going to have an absolute ball of a time. We are renting out a car. Sean is going to be driving. I'm sure we'll be fine. Sean obviously is confident but slightly nervous. We've never driven in another country before, so driving on the other side of the road is going to be different. In California, the rules for kids in cars are very specific, so you have to have a certain type of car seat. UK car seats are not approved in America because they have to be like federally approved. I know people online have said they brought their car seats over and not had an issue with it, but by law technically you're not supposed to do that, and obviously insurance purposes and things like that, I don't think that is great. Kids under the age of 8 have to be in some form of car seat, so we're going to rent car seats out and just be free to be able to drive as we please. I don't think driving will be too tricky though, because it seems that LA traffic is absolutely hideous, so we'll probably be driving like 10 miles an hour the entire time we're there, which is probably a good way to ease ourselves in to driving on the other side of the road. But yeah, looking forward to that. We are staying in a hotel the nights before we fly. I always find staying somewhere the night before, especially if you're driving to the airport, staying in that airport the night before just eases your mind so much, because driving to Heathrow from Essex, where we are, is like an hour's drive at least across London, and obviously accidents happen, delays could happen. I don't want to be putting that stress on us. We'd have to be leaving super early as well to make sure we get there on time. So yeah, so we are staying in the hotel the night before. We're also going to stay in a hotel at LAX airport when we arrive, just because after an 11-hour flight, which could or could not be quite hectic with 2 kids, obviously going through customs and passport control and baggage, it's going to probably be quite late. We'll probably arrive in LA like smack bang at going home time, so busy on the roads. So we just thought, you know what, let's stay in a hotel the night when we arrive, just so we can start afresh in the morning, get the car and get going to our first location in Pasadena. So that's the plan. Like I said, it's sort of at the minute in its skeleton planning phase. I haven't bulked it all out since the beginning so far. If you have any tips, please do let me know. I'm all ears. I didn't plan our Disneyland California trip very well when we went to 2018, and so this year I want to be on it. We are going to go in October, so I have about a month and a bit to get ready for it, so I'm super excited though. And so for now, that is everything I have to share about our trip. I'm just so excited, can't wait to go. I just wanted to share that we are going sooner rather than later, because I keep on like talking about it on Instagram and TikTok and be like, I need to just say that we're going and properly give you the information, because come on. So yeah, so that's it. We're going to Disneyland California in October. Cannot wait, can't wait to go to Disney World in the future, but Disneyland California is a good second step. We've done Paris already earlier this year, but it's a good introduction to the American Disney, because there's something special about the American Disney. They do it in such a different way. I don't know what it is. There's like a magic to it. Toontown. Oh my god, I can't wait for Toontown. Anyway, right. If you have any more tips, like I've said 1,000 times, please put any tips or comments down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to follow us along on our journey and see what we get up to, see if we survive that 11-hour flight with 2 kids. And yeah, hit that thumbs up button too, because it lets me know that you like this type of content. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!